Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm talking about a trade that the Portland Trailblazers have to make in this video. I'm getting into what the trade package is going to be, well, what team they're going to be trading with, and how it benefits both teams. I'll be getting to all that in this video. So before doing this video, if you do like the video at any point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me, because as you know, every like in this video counts as 1 inch towards LeBron's hairline, and well, he's kind of struggling, man. He kind of needs it. So if you want to help the cause, support the cause of LeBron's hairline regrowing, hit the like button and help make a change. But now that I got out of the way, let's get right into this video. Alright, so the first thing I'm beginning to for this video is going to be the actual trade package itself. The trade package would consist of the Miami Heat getting CJ McCollum, Jusuf Nurkic, Anfree Simmons, and Gary Trent Jr. and possibly a second round pick or two in this trade, while Portland would be getting Jimmy Butler, Igudola, and Tyler Herro. Now, if this trade doesn't sound right, or you don't think this trade helps both teams, just hear me out and listen to the rest of the video, as I will be giving reasons for both teams. The first thing I'm beginning into is going to be the Portland Trailblazers. The Portland Trailblazers, I mean, they need much needed defense. Their offense is already elite. CJ McCollum helps them a ton offensively, but it's mainly Damian Lillard. Let's be honest. Yes, CJ McCollum gets you 20 points per game and takes pressure off Dame, but Damian Lillard can still average you 30 points per game, and they have other weapons on this roster to help score. And if they did get Jimmy Butler, it's not like he can't score. Tyler Herro is nothing but offense, and Iguodala, I mean, off the bench can get you about 5-8 points per game. So, I mean, really, their scoring that they lose in CJ McCollum, they would be getting back in Jimmy Butler and Tyler Herro. So it wouldn't really be a big loss on offense, but what they would be gaining is they would be getting much needed defense. Because no matter how good Damian Lillard is, he's just not a good defender. He's undersized. It's not his fault. He's just not a great defender. Well, Jimmy Butler just so happens to be one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire NBA and is an absolute dog. I mean, we see it in the playoffs right now when he's in the bubble. Jimmy Butler is afraid of nobody. He will guard anybody, and he's also clutch in crunch time. So now when you combine Damian Lillard and Jimmy Butler, two clutch players, well, that will be huge for this team, and it will help them defensively a ton. Not to mention, you also would be adding Iguodala, who is not only just a veteran, but he's an extremely smart defender. He's still a very nice veteran leader to have on your team. Multiple championships, multiple final experiences. So it's not like Iguodala isn't a good veteran. He would be a very big part of this team as well, defensively for sure. And I think that this would help them much more than what they currently have, because like I said earlier, I mean, Portland, they have their offense down. Their offensive system is set. It's just defensively it's not there, and Jimmy Butler is a very good two-way player. He can do both things, and Tyler Herro is nothing but offense, so him coming off the bench, or maybe even being your starting shooting guard, would not be that bad, as he would be able to get you around 10-15 points a game if he's starting. No telling how good he could be. I think Tyler Herro has all-star level potential. So if you're Portland, you're getting the defense you desperately need, you're getting a good veteran, and you're getting a young guy with potential all-star potential, in which I am very high on, and Tyler Herro will also help complement the offense that you're losing with CJ McCollum. Now, is he as good as CJ McCollum? No, but I mean, he is still going to help, and I think the offense isn't going to struggle at all if you combine the three players you're getting. I think it would probably be around the same as it was before. And yes, you're losing Jusuf Nurkic and not getting a center, but you still have Hassan Whiteside, who isn't as good as Jusuf Nurkic by any means, but he's still a good rim protector. He can still grab boards, and I mean, he's still a very solid center to have on your team and is a starting level center. So you're really not losing all that much from Jusuf Nurkic to Hassan Whiteside. You're just losing really bench stuff at that point. So with all that being said, I think Portland really does benefit from this trade. They get the defense they needed, as their defense hasn't been an above average defense except for 1 year since the Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum era has started. So Jimmy Butler being on that team would help. Iguodala, like I said, would help. The defense would be higher, and their offense won't be struggling. It might drop a little bit, but it won't drop all that much due to the offense they are getting back from Tyler Herro and Jimmy Butler. But now moving on to the Miami Heat side of things, this trade for a few reasons. As I mean, although they are doing very good and they probably don't want to mess up their chemistry, I still think this trade would benefit them. Even though they are losing their second best player in Jimmy Butler, I still think this trade could benefit them pretty good. As I mean, they would be getting a pretty significant upgrade at the shooting guard position in CJ McCollum, who is one of the best shooting guards in the league right now, especially offensively. And then also Jusuf Nurkic is potentially a top 10 center center right now, and if you paired that up with Bam Adebayo and Jusuf Nurkic starting, as I think that's what they would do, as I mean, Bam Adebayo is a pretty undersized center. Now, although he is an absolute beast at center right now, and he's having one of the best seasons we've seen out of a second-year player, well, I mean, he still would be probably a better power forward, as he's only 6'9", so I mean, to have a legit big center down there, and you can move Bam Adebayo back to his original position, well, that would be very, very beneficial to the Miami Heat, and that would form one of the best power forward center duos in the entire league, no doubt. I mean, Jusuf Nurkic, top 10 center, Bam Adebayo, probably a top 5, top 7 power forward in the NBA, and he's only going to improve. Like, he was in the contention for most improved this year, so no telling how much he's going to improve even going into next year. So, I mean, them two being together would be absolutely dominant in the paint, and that's kind of how they like to play. Gritty, they like to grind, really get into it, and Jusuf Nurkic and Bam Adebayo would work very well off each other. And then also, like I said, CJ McCollum would add much needed needed upgrade at shooting guard. Well, it's not much needed, as Duncan Robinson is more than serviceable, but him coming off your bench would be huge. I mean, Duncan Robinson, if you get him on fire off your bench, he's pretty much a JJ Redick. If he catches on fire, he can take over a game by himself shooting. That's how good of a shooter he is. So if you can move that good of a player to your bench, you now get much needed bench depth. You now get a better shooting guard. Your offense increases. You don't lose much defensively because your paint defense is going to be so good. So I think really this trade does help them a lot. And then that doesn't even mention Anfree Simons and Gary Trent Jr., who both showed tons and tons of potential in the bubble. Now, also, Gary Trent Jr. did struggle a little bit in the playoffs. He was still having a very good season and showed the potential to be a very nice 3-and-D type guy. And Anfree Simons, he came out of high school, and I mean, that dude has shown tons of potential. I mean, he's having a very good season, his best season of his career, and he's looking to only build on that. And then, like I said, also they could throw in maybe even a first-round pick or even a few seconds. So I think if they do that, this trade would make sense for both teams. Now, I think this trade would be won by Portland, and I don't think Miami fans would want to do this trade only because that, I mean, they're doing so good. Why mess it up? You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, they took game 1 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Why would they want to give this up? Well, mainly because I think they're in the same boat as Portland. I don't think with this team they currently have, they can win the finals. And that's every team's main goal. If you can't win the finals, what's the point? Because yes, I do think that they can make the finals, but let's be honest, they're not beating the Lakers and they're not beating the Clippers. So I don't know why you would want to keep a roster together just because you're good. I would want to be able to compete for the NBA Finals, and I do think this trade would help them get there. You get two guys with high potential. You get CJ McCollum, an all-star level player, Jusuf Nurkic, a top 10 center, and then a first-round pick on top of that could potentially become something, and then boom, your future looks very, very bright. And that's not even including people like Duncan Robinson, who's going to get a ton of development and no telling how good he could be, and Kendrick Nunn, no telling how good he could be, and Bam Adebayo could potentially be the best power forward in the NBA one day. So I think personally this trade makes sense for both teams, but I could see why Miami fans would be opposed to it. But I think Portland fans would love this trade, and I just think it's more on the Miami side who's going to be opposed to that. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think this trade would work? Do you think Portland should make this trade? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you don't think so, what trades do you think they should make? I want to hear all that in the comment section below. And like I said, if you did like the video, hit the like button and subscribe button. As like I said, every like is an inch to LeBron's hairline, and it would mean the world to me if we can help restore his hairline and bring back playoff LeBron in full effect with every particle of hair on his head. Now that I say that, it doesn't sound very good. So yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. So hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.